Hey everybody, my name is King Quad. Hope you're having an amazing day today. Today I want to take a look at the unique perks for Garnet. Specifically, I want to take a look at Marker. Right now, this is the one I've been using. I want to take a look at it. She has a choice of two perks. Now, the first one is Electric Groove, which of course stacks your singing ability, which increases your movement speed as well as armor piercing for depending on how many stacks you have, right? The second one, and the one that I want to take a look at today, is called Marker. Now, the Marker ability leaves your mark, which is your downward special ability, wherever your Rocket Fist ends. You guys can see right there, all the way on the end, I am tethered now to that star move. I can then use my downward special, fly over across the map, and if he is in my way, I will grab him and I will fling him towards the star. This deals damage as well. And personally, it was my favorite perk to use at the starting of when I first unlocked Garnet. Since then, I've had a couple people reach out to me, let me know like, hey, Electric Groove might be a little better for you. And of course, after switching to Electric Groove, a lot of people commented saying it's pretty useless, you should switch over to Marker. I thought it was pretty funny. At the end of the day, I don't really think it matters, but depending on your playstyle, it will matter, right? It doesn't matter overall, just in the sense of both of them can be useful. Both of them, you can use them one way or another, depending on your playstyle, and you can definitely excel with one over the other. Personally, my playstyle does involve the Rocket Fist non-stop. I will always use both of my projectiles as often as I can. So I definitely think that the Marker is a little better for my playstyle, just because as soon as I get it off, chances are my downward special is going to be on cooldown, and when it's off of cooldown, obviously I'll use it best of my ability. Set it up in the middle of the map like that. You guys can see I'll use that as a recovery as well. Deal some damage in, get some knockback in, throw them up in the air, get down on the ground, recover, and then get back all over again, right? Very good. I love how it is. I mean, my playstyle especially is super good with it. And I always really liked it. This was always my first choice. Like I said, I had a couple people reach out to me, let me know that Electric Groove might be worth checking out. So today, I essentially wanted to just explore the difference between both of them. And today we're going to be focusing on the Marker ability. I'll probably make another video where I specifically only use Electric Groove just to go over everything, see how it works in my playstyle. But when it comes to Marker, I definitely prefer this one out of the two, right? I'm always using it all the time. I want to know, how do you guys feel about it? For those who main Garnet, do you guys use it specifically? Do you guys use one over the other? And if so, which one do you use? Like I said, I always main Marker. That's my usual main one. I prefer Marker just because of my playstyle, but at the end of the day, I guess it's just dependent on your playstyle. My main thing that I love using it for is setups, obviously. If I use my Rocket Fist across the map, I will throw it specifically to where I want the downward special to go, and then I'll plan accordingly. That out of the way, let's get on to our second gameplay. Now we're here against Superman, and I feel like this is a good matchup just because he's always going to be up close and personal. So majority of the time, you're going to be able to catch him on your downward special, which is your Marker ability. I'll use it for setup right there, knock him out the map, and if I want to, I honestly could drag him over to it, but I'm not gonna just because it's too risky. Chances are, since I am lower damage, I don't want him to spike me and get a free stock off because I am in the lead right now, so I definitely do have a good chance of winning this, right? Majority of the time, I will keep it for a setup. Like I said, I will throw it to wherever I want it to go, as opposed to just using a Rocket Fist for damage. I'll specifically use it for a utility setup, which I think is pretty underrated. I feel like not a lot of people do that. Obviously, I feel like a lot of people kind of just play it wherever it lands, but I use it to where I specifically point it to where I want it to land in order to help me out just a little bit, right? In a lot of situations, you'll catch it to where it's kind of an awkward angle to try to launch it in, but majority of the time, I definitely think it's either good for evasion or it's good for a combo ending. I really like this ability. I feel like I use it all the time. Every single time that my Rocket Fist is open, I'll use it, and I would say definitely it's about 9 out of 10 times I'll actually end up using my star ability. It's super good. I love it. I mean, I think this is probably the better one for Garnet. In 1v1s at least. In 2v2s, I would definitely say that the Electric Groove matters just a little more, right? I feel like majority of the time, that's when you're going to actually use your buff. You're going to use your movement increase. You're going to also use your armor piercing. I would say it definitely matters in 2v2s for Electric Groove. And of course, juxtaposed, you're not going to really use the Marker in 2v2s. When you see this ability, I mean, this is something that it doesn't really matter, because at the end of the day, chances are, if you have time to land on the ground and be alive for 1 second, you have time to put down your downward special. In 1v1s, when people like Superman, Bugs Bunny, Tom and Jerry, even people like Batman who are super aggro, people like Shaggy who are always going to be up in your face trying to get their damage off because they're a bruiser, I mean, it's going to be pretty hard to actually put down your downward special. So in cases like this, it is a 2-for-1, 2 birds with 1 stone. You're not going to have to actually set up, you're not going to have to deal time to actually set up both abilities, your Rocket Fist and your downward special. It's going to be 2-in-1. As soon as you launch a Rocket Fist, it'll set down your marker, and it's super good for that, right? Just saving time. Overall, I highly recommend this for people who want to get better with Garnet in 1v1s, and I mean, it works out for me. That being said, let's move on to another fight. Let's get into it. Alright, we're here against a Velma. And honestly, this is pretty cool. I think after EVO weekend has ended, I feel like a lot of people were really looking at different characters kind of more viable than they were beforehand. I feel like a lot of people now especially are using Velma just because a lot of people saw that you can actually do pretty good with Velma in EVO. And people started to realize, you know, this game is more about having fun with what character you want to, as opposed to who's picked in the meta, you know? I feel like obviously people are always going to play Batman, people are always going to play Bugs, people are always going to play Tom and Jerry, just because they're in the meta. They're what people see as good characters, and if they're new to this game and they want to just dominate in the roster, they're going to look at those picks and be like, oh my god, I can get free wins just because I'm playing these characters. Majority of the time that's going to be true, but when you go against someone who's a little better, you know, you're going to realize that when you lose, would you rather be losing with someone that you don't care about or someone that you obviously want to have fun with, right? And I feel like people have always liked Velma. People have always appreciated Velma's character. So after EVO, I feel like a lot of people are just really choosing these off-meta picks just because they're having fun with it, you know? And she is pretty underrated. Ever since closed beta, I've always realized that she's really good. Before her open beta even started, I went against I think a level like 28 Velma on like the second day of me playing. And I realized very quickly that she is a strong pick. She is a very good character. She's just underrated. I feel like you just gotta learn how to play her. Very similar to everyone else in this game. Just go who you want to, right? And I love it. I love to see it. I really do. With her, I feel like she's someone who's gonna take damage a lot more. She's gonna take a lot more knockback. So you're not necessarily gonna have to use your marker non-stop. You're not gonna have to use it in viable situations to when they're up close and personal. Have to deal damage, have to deal some knockback, some getaway, anything like that, right? People in the meta right now, so people who are gonna deal a lot of damage by being aggro, the aforementioned Batman, Superman, Tom and Jerry, Bugs Bunny, Shaggy even. Those people are always going to play up close and personal, super aggressive. So you're going to have to use your marker a lot more. But people like Velma, people like Arya Stark even, people like Steven Universe obviously, those people aren't going to have as much protection. Or even people like Harley. So you're definitely going to be able to play it a little more strategically. You guys can see I'm not using it as much. When I do, I kind of set it where I ever want to, right? But when it comes to the meta picks, I highly recommend to use it more aggressively. Use it in the ending of your combos. And overall, just try to make it more consistent when it comes to those picks, right? Off meta, essentially, just use it for getaways, use it for evasion, use it for recovery, use it for more tactical, you know? And there we go. Just like that. Let's move on to our final game. I think we'll get one more in. Alright, guys. We're here, and I never thought I'd see the day where this happens. We're against a Steven Universe. This is crazy. I love playing against Steven. I feel like Garnet does a pretty good job against these. I have gone against a couple of good Stevens recently, and I didn't watch EVO, so I don't know if Steven was picked in EVO. I wouldn't be surprised, though, because, like I said, with Velma, I feel like a lot of these picks are definitely kind of more persistent just because people saw him in the EVO. People were like, hey, I like that character. Turns out he could be really good. I just got to get good with him. I mean, that's how fighting games are, you know? And it's a really beautiful thing. I would assume he was picked in EVO, though, just because, I mean, in the past day or two, I've seen a lot of people picking Steven. Also, real quick, since I got y'all here, I've just been seeing so many positive comments lately. We just hit 1,800, by the way. We're at 1,833 subscribers at the time of this recording. So I want to say thank you guys. I really do appreciate it. Y'all are just insane with all the positivity. I mean, every single comment that just makes me smile, it's crazy, y'all. I see so many people saying that they're here for the positive vibes. They're here because, you know, they like Garnet, I like Garnet. People who watch Steven Universe, I watch Steven Universe. And it's just really cool to connect with like-minded people, you know? I feel like that's one of the great things about being someone who posts a lot of Garnet gameplay, is just because everyone else who plays Garnet, there's not a lot of people to turn to, so I love sharing like-minded comments. I like sharing experiences with y'all. People, when y'all comment, I will always make an effort to reply. And And I love interacting with y'all. So I want to say thank you guys. I mean, y'all have been so supportive, non-stop appreciation. And it means a lot. It really does. There's a lot of comments that y'all just make my day. And I hope you guys know that. Because every time y'all leave a positive comment or any type of... It doesn't even necessarily have to be positive. I appreciate any contribution to my community. Even the people who disagree with me, that's completely fine. I will never care. If you agree or disagree, at the end of the day, we're all here to have fun. And just like that, there we go. Hope you're having an amazing day, y'all. Subscribe if you're new to join the Aztec Empire. And I'll probably make another video going over the Electric Groove. Let me know what you guys think. How do you guys feel about the unique perks for Garnet? And which one do you use over the other? Have a great day, y'all. Stay safe. Take care. Peace, adios. Until next time, have an amazing day, y'all. Bye-bye. Until next time.